The 2025 Formula One season has turned into one of the most dramatic in recent history, and at the center of the chaos stands McLaren, a team that began the year as championship favorites, but now finds itself battling inner turmoil and public scrutiny. The razor-thin margins separating Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris have transformed what was once a dream partnership into one of the sport's most fascinating rivalries. Heading into the United States Grand Prix in Austin, just 22 points separated the two McLaren drivers. Both knew that every race, every corner, and every decision could swing the title. The tension was undeniable. Fans could feel it in the air as the two orange cars lined up behind Max Verstappen on the grid, Piastri in second, Norris in third. The atmosphere was electric, the stakes monumental. Yet, no one could have predicted that McLaren's championship hopes would be shattered before they even made it past turn one. As the lights went out, Verstappen got the perfect launch, while both McLarens surged forward in unison. Norris covered the inside line. Piastri looked to set up a wider entry, and behind them, Nico Hülkenberg's Haas found an inviting but rapidly closing gap on the inside. It was a split-second decision, and one that changed everything. As the three cars converged at the apex, Hülkenberg's front wing brushed against Piastri's left rear tire, sending the Australian's McLaren momentarily airborne before he slammed into Norris' side pod. Both orange cars spun helplessly, scattering debris across the circuit. Verstappen sailed into the distance unscathed, while the McLaren pit wall was left in stunned silence. Within seconds, McLaren's once commanding title position had turned into disaster. Two cars out on lap one, both potential race winners gone in an instant. What looked like a simple racing incident on the surface spiraled into controversy as emotions flared. Zac Brown, usually known for his calm demeanor, couldn't contain his frustration. Speaking to the media, he lashed out, calling it amateur hour, and accusing other drivers of reckless behavior. Though he didn't name names, everyone knew Hülkenberg was the target. It was rare to see McLaren CEO lose composure like that, and his reaction revealed just how much pressure was building within the team. But within hours, Brown's stance completely changed. After reviewing the onboard footage and telemetry, he retracted his accusation, admitting that it was unfair to place blame solely on Hülkenberg. The sudden reversal left fans and pundits wondering, what did McLaren uncover that made them change their narrative so quickly? Sources close to the team hinted that internal data told a more complicated story. The telemetry suggested that Piastri's line into turn one was slightly more aggressive than expected, perhaps influenced by his attempt to outposition Norris on the exit. The gap he was aiming for simply didn't exist, and by the time Hülkenberg moved in, there was no room left for error. Admitting this publicly, however, could have been disastrous for McLaren's internal harmony. Piastri has been leading the championship for much of the season, while Norris has been closing in with a strong run of form in recent races. Tensions were already simmering beneath the surface, with whispers of favoritism toward Norris circulating among fans and insiders alike. To avoid fueling that narrative, McLaren chose silence, first deflecting blame outward, then retreating to neutral ground. But neutrality doesn't eliminate tension. It only buries it. Inside McLaren's garage, the energy has shifted. What was once a healthy rivalry now carries an undercurrent of unease. Piastri and Norris have maintained public professionalism, but their on-track body language tells another story. Piastri, the calm and composed rookie-turned-contender, now finds himself under immense pressure to prove he's not just fast, but championship-ready. Norris, meanwhile, feels this could finally be his year, the season that validates his long commitment to McLaren. After the crash, both drivers' reactions spoke volumes. Norris sounded controlled over the radio, simply acknowledging the chaos. Piastri's voice, on the other hand, carried a tone of disbelief and frustration. He admitted after the race that he hadn't seen the full replay, but his demeanor told the truth. He was gutted. Each point lost now feels like a dagger in his title campaign, especially with Verstappen closing the gap fast. McLaren team principal Andrea Stella faced the press with his usual composure, but his words were layered. He criticized experienced drivers for taking unnecessary risks into turn one, a statement that many took as a jab at Hülkenberg. But behind the scenes, insiders claim it was also a quiet message to Piastri. Think smart, not bold. The team knows that one more collision could destroy their season entirely. McLaren's leadership has walked a fine line this year, publicly backing both drivers while privately managing the growing strain between them. Stella's challenge is monumental, maintaining unity while two world-class talents fight for the same dream. And all the while, Max Verstappen lurks. The Red Bull driver, though not as dominant as in previous seasons, thrives in moments of chaos. His sprint victory in Austin was the perfect example. While McLaren imploded, Verstappen capitalized. He closed the championship gap to just 33 points behind Norris and 55 behind Piastri. He doesn't need to win every race. He just needs McLaren to keep self-destructing. Verstappen knows this pattern well. It's the same kind of internal pressure that once fractured Red Bull's rivals in years past. Behind McLaren's orange facade lies a power struggle that could define the outcome of 2025. Some believe Norris still holds the upper hand in the team's hierarchy, being their long-term investment and fan favorite. Others see Piastri as the future, precise, unflappable, and relentlessly consistent. The Austin crash has only deepened this divide among fans and analysts. Social media has erupted with debates. Some accuse Piastri of being too aggressive. Others blame Norris for not leaving enough space. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. A perfect storm of ambition, millimeter-level misjudgment, and miscommunication. The FIA's decision to rule the incident as no further action avoided a scandal but failed to answer the questions that matter most. Was McLaren's internal communication clear enough? Were both drivers fully aligned on their race approach? Or has the team's push for the championship started to crack the foundation of trust that once made them so effective? The damage from Austin goes beyond broken carbon fiber. It's emotional, psychological, and strategic. Engineers who worked tirelessly to perfect both cars now face the daunting task of rebuilding under pressure. Team meetings, once full of confidence, now carry an awkward silence. And as the paddock moves to the next round, the headlines aren't about McLaren's brilliance. They're about whether the team can hold itself together. McLaren has been here before. They've seen internal rivalries tear apart potential championship campaigns. Senna versus Prost, Alonso versus Hamilton, and now, history threatens to repeat itself. The only difference is that this time, both drivers are homegrown talents, both equally capable of delivering McLaren's first title in over a decade. The question is whether they can coexist long enough to do it. Verstappen, meanwhile, is smiling quietly in the background. He knows how to exploit these moments. While McLaren debates blame, Red Bull refines performance. The Dutchman's calm confidence contrasts sharply with McLaren's public uncertainty. Mercedes and even Williams have taken advantage of McLaren's stumble, picking up valuable points in Austin. The championship fight, once McLaren's to lose, now looks wide open again. For McLaren, Austin might go down as the turning point of the season, a race that exposed not just the fragility of their car, but the fragility of their unity. Every great F1 season has its defining moment, and this may be theirs. Will it be remembered as the beginning of their downfall, or as the moment that forced them to rebuild stronger? As the team heads to the next race, the air around Woking is thick with uncertainty. Piastri's determination remains intact, Norris's confidence unshaken, but the invisible line between teammates has never been thinner. Both know that one more mistake, one more flash of misjudgment, could end their title hopes for good. Formula One thrives on rivalries, but within McLaren, that rivalry has become personal. And when ambition collides with pressure, something has to give. So now, the questions echo louder than ever. Has McLaren reached its breaking point? Was Piastri simply unlucky at turn 1? Or was this crash a symptom of deeper fractures inside the team? And with Verstappen closing in, could McLaren's internal tension gift Red Bull a path back to glory? The 2025 championship is still wide open, but after Austin, one thing is clear: the biggest challenge McLaren faces isn't on the track. It's within their own garage.